So listen, Charleston White was recently released from jail. I think he has some animal cruelty charges. I think some fictitious weapon charges, whatever the case may be. Immediately he goes to say cheese and he says some disturbing things about a disabled girl. And uh, just like Charleston White, the interview's 300,000 views strong and going. What's your take on this guy, man? Because I know we spoke on the phone and you said you wanted to talk about Charleston White today. So what's your take on Son?
I think Son he's an intelligent dummy. He's cleverly dumb. He is a person that knows how to turn it on and off.
Right.
He he mon- he's getting a monetary gain from black people pain.
Right.
Anybody that follow him doesn't have doesn't have a real intellect, that doesn't have knowledge itself.
Okay.
He may he can say some real things, right? Even the worst type of person can say something real. I can say something small as, yo, you got to eat healthy. Why? Because you can live longer. Oh my God, that was real.
Right.
I think when people be listening to him on Instagram, it be the music that be catching people feelings, like the instrumental in the background that people may put over his voice. It be the instrumental that be having people feeling real sentimental, opposed to what he's saying, because anybody can say something real. Action speaks louder than words, but character speaks louder than actions. His character shows that he don't have nothing going on but to talk down on black people.
Right.
That's his whole movement. And 9 times out of 10, it's mainly poor-minded people that's saying, yes, I agree with Charleston White. People that don't have nothing going on. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mentally. They're not working on themselves. They're
Right.
not trying to mind elevate. The easiest thing in life to be is a dummy. That's the easiest thing to do. So if you can sit back and listen to a dummy or a person that's portraying Bobo the fool, you like, oh yeah, he's saying some dude is a poison to the community. He's
Right.
a poison to the community. And he has a lot of serious trauma. And that's the thing that people don't understand. This man has serious trauma that makes him hate black people
Right.
and talk down on people, kids. I was the only one in Philly that spoke about him disrespecting PNB Rock. What did he do to you? What did George Floyd do to you?
Well, just to interject, Charleston's job is to say the most shocking things that people think, but they won't say. So that's how he's able to make a living, because people can't believe that he has the kahunas to say some of the things that he says. And honestly, he's monopolizing off of it, but he really can't travel around unless he got armed guard security, because he's dissing the dead, he's dissing people's deceased children or loved ones. He's talking about the elderly, he's talking about the handicapped. And at the same breath, when he speaks about his own children, is so loving. You know what I mean? His children are getting good marks in school. He's saying he's putting all this money up for them to do great things in the community. But he speaks about his enemy's children, or somebody in the media's children, like they're just dirt. And people applaud it though. People celebrate it. They laugh. They share the memes. They share the clips. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
if you're mentally poor
right,
and damaged and have mental health issues, it's a good chance that that's what you're going to love.
right,
You are what you consume,
right,
right? So you talk about when you got out of prison, you went after a high school kid, and your excuse was your mind was still at 14. But when a 14-year-old is murdered or get locked up or does something that you talk down on them. So you always have an excuse for you and talk down on somebody. What you said about Gilly the Kid's son. Like what you said about everybody kids though, but you don't talk about how you were, well, you make a mention of it in a joking way, and that's manipulating, right? When you can manipulate the people by cracking a joke or trying to sneak it in, how you making your children's mother, making her sell her body and all of those things. Like, come on, man. This man is, yo, it's nothing that can't nobody tell me nothing positive about him.
Right.
Nothing.
I mean, well, me and you agreed that, like you said in your message, somebody dumb can say something smart one time in their life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say he's an intelligent person. He knows how to articulate himself.
Right.
But in 2020, you can look at the type of man that he is, right? You didn't have no swag. You didn't have no motion.
Right.
You weren't somebody that the women were appealing to. Like the women weren't trying to get next to you. So you wanted to be like the dope boys. You were jealous of that. You wanted to have that fame and that camaraderie with the people like the dope boys and the street guys and the thugs and the gang members had. But when you look at your car, it's not about how old your car was. It's about how dirty on the inside your car was. You had nothing. This is 2020 when you were a quote unquote community leader, activist that's trying to make change in the community.
Right.
Your car was filthy. You had 2 bottles of liquor in the trunk. You had a gun, a knife, weed, and you had the nerve to say that you was taking your child to school. And you also said that the gang members was trying to do something to you.
Right.
And you ain't had no insurance. Bro, you was just discombobulated.
Unresponsible.
You wasn't even responsible. You were irresponsible.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Your whole life is a joke, bro. Facts, man. And listen, he better be lucky, man. He needs to be lucky right now.
Yeah. No, what do you say to the people? I mean, because keep it real, no, I mean, whatever he's doing in the eyes of the public is working. He's making tens and tens of thousands of dollars. He's feeding his family, but his message is horrible. Just to counter on that, right? Do you feel like the podcasts that bring him on their platform should be held responsible for Charleston's message?
So you just got to stand on what you stand on and don't play dumbfounded and just say, see, I don't think they're responsible. I just think that the message is don't play dumbfounded when people start coming after you. God forbid if that's what they do. I'm just a podcaster. I don't know what be going on. No, what you're doing is antagonizing the people just like he is.
There you go.
You're antagonizing, you're mocking, you're capitalizing off of people pain. Because they're not going to put somebody like me on their platform that's really making a change. Because the peanut gallery don't want to hear me until something happens that I was talking about, like drug addiction. Oh, my child died from drug addiction. Bmcfly, where you at? But when I was talking about drug addiction, it wasn't appealing.
Right.